Hey, what's up? How you doing, everybody? I'm James Zamero here at SwitchWatch. I hope you're having a great week. I'm back today with a next video in our bargain series where we scour the eShop to help you find the best deals available. We do this and release it every Sunday, so please do consider subscribing to get this delivered to you each week. Now, last week we had a bunch of great games like Resident Evil that were on sale, that's still on sale, so you might want to check that video out by the top right hand side. Without further ado, let's jump in and take a look at what's available this week. Kicking things off with my pick of the week, and I've gone for pure value this time around. Preventive Strike is just 1 cent down from $2. You really can't go wrong for that price, and surprisingly it's not too bad of a game. It's an arcade shooter in which you control an attack helicopter. It reminds me of games from the arcade era where you get shot down, frustrated, and put more money into that slot. And Jordan, what are your picks this week?
Hey guys, Jordan here with my pick of the week. Aragami is a stealth game that was released on the Switch back in February, which feels like a lifetime ago since I actually reviewed it. You're looking at a nicely put together stealth game with supernatural elements as you teleport from shadow to shadow, avoiding the patrolling soldiers. It's not the best game ever made and has a few issues that show its indie origins, but now that it's 50% off in the UK, now at £12.49, you really can't go wrong at all. You'll definitely get your money's worth. It's much more enticing at this price, especially since it includes the DLC for the game. Anyways, that's my pick of the week. Let me know if you're picking this one up or not.
Thanks, James. My pick of the week is this dungeon crawler called Vaporum with a massive 50% off in the UK and the US. This is currently a bargain price. Sorry, European friends, this currently isn't on sale. If you want a bit more information about this, well, it's a dungeon crawler RPG in an original steampunk setting, and it is obviously inspired by old school classics of the genre. Now here you are stranded. You're stranded in a tower in the middle of the ocean. You need to find out what's going on, who you are, and what's happened in this environment. Cue the adventure. It's very dark, but it's a very, very good game, and that's my recommendation this week. Take care, everyone. Thanks, James, and I'll see you next week. Take care.
Thanks guys for your picks this week. Do let us know down below what your picks are. Of course, there are many more games to be had, and next up, it's Oceanhorn. In this game, you explore the islands of uncharted seas, a world filled with many dangers, puzzles, and secrets. You get to fight monsters, learn to use magic, and discover ancient treasures, which will help you on your quest. This is a Zelda-style indie game that's well accomplished. Juan gave this one an 8 out of 10 back when it came out. This lovely little tale will take you around about 12 or 13 hours to complete, so at 33% off, you're getting your money's worth.
You must find out what happened to the secret emblem.
Clusterpuck 99 is the perfect party game. It's as simple as can be to pick up and play. You need to pick up the puck and score in the opposing team's goal. A cross between ice hockey and shuffleboard. Playing on your own, this is not going to be fun. One-on-one, it gets quite good. But where things are fantastic are in teams. If you have 4 people or even 6 together, then things get brilliant. We played this over Easter and didn't put it down for ages. Now just at the price of a coffee, I don't see how you can go wrong. The Fate Stella series is a popular manga that's been branched out into various anime series and games. It's an interesting dystopian digital world where historical leaders like Nero and Gilgamesh are recreated, but in much more bouncy and silly form. It's all gloriously bonkers, and the Umbral Star is a Musu-style hack and slash that made its way onto the Switch in 2017. It's not perfect, but it's fun to play, and for fans of the series, it gives you an interactive digital experience. This one's currently 50% off in the US only, but of course, the Switch is region free, so you're able to pick this up from outside of North America. If you're looking for a retro shmup, then Horizon Shift 81 might be the one for you. You can even play this game in Tate screen mode. It's an explosive wave-based single-screen shooter with a real retro feel to it. The player controls a ship in the centre of the screen and enemies approach from the top and bottom, and you're able to switch up and down to deal with the encroaching horde. The soundtrack and gameplay go well together, and this one does feel a lot like Space Invaders or Galaga, that type of classic arcade game. At this much of a discount, you really can't go wrong. What a fantastic price this is. Onimusha Warlords is a classic action game from Capcom that's found its way onto the Nintendo Switch. The action is like a bridge between Resident Evil and Devil May Cry in many respects. Overall, Onimusha may not have aged as gracefully as some other games on the era, but it's definitely worth a playthrough to experience what was a fantastic, compelling release at the time. It's enough for those who may have missed it the first time around or would prefer a more accessible way to play. It's not the longest game in the world, but at an affordable price, it's an enjoyable trip down memory lane. Having just had Halloween, a lot of horror-based games are currently on sale on the eShop, and the Count Lucanor has 80% off. Essentially, this game is about exploring and solving puzzles. It's all very minimalistic and simple to do. The controls are easy to use and move your character around. Overall, this one did have a few issues with it. There's some bugs and performance issues, but it's very cool looking, and it's a slow-paced, nice little adventure, similar to something like a point and click. If that sounds like your cup of tea, with 80% off, you might want to consider this one. HoPiKo is one of the most frenetic, fastest games that you'll play on the Switch. It's brutal, twitch-based gameplay which will use every ounce of muscle memory. This is a platformer where your character is fixed in position. You aim and release to the next platform. Hell, sometimes you don't even need to aim. You just fire your little man at breakneck speeds from one platform to the next until you destroy the virus. The goal is simple: get from one part of the level to the other as quickly as possible without dying. It's simple and great fun to play, though it does miss online leaderboards. That's something that we did spot when we reviewed it a little while back that would have been nice to have added. With 80% off, this is a simple Twitch-based game that you might want to consider. The Nintendo Switch really is the perfect home for twin-stick roguelike games with the likes of Enter the Gungeon and The Binding of Isaac. The Walking Vegetables has a similar style of gameplay. The ridiculous premise of giant vegetables from space coming to attack Earth is brilliant, and it's all over the top. This isn't as good as those aforementioned games, but it's certainly up there, and it's one worth considering at this price. A couple of weeks ago, we featured the retro platformer Kid Trip on our bargains video, an auto runner with 2 button controls that's a short but satisfying experience. Miles & Kilo is the developer's follow-up, and if you enjoyed that, you will certainly like this. It has lovely retro graphics and a solid soundtrack to boot. This is a short game that's fun from start to end and definitely shows the developer's improvements. Figment is a work of art. It's beautiful, creative, and sounds great. Its adventure will take you around 7 hours to complete, and though the gameplay is fairly simple, I did really enjoy the puzzles this game has to offer to make it a solid addition to your Nintendo Switch library. Figment is a 2.5D isometric puzzle game with some adventuring sprinkled in, and it's a clever trip through the human mind. Shu is an earnest little platformer that tries its best to mimic the big boys and almost does so with its very solid gameplay and ability switching mechanics. It's only a brief experience with not too much incentive to go back, but at least it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's got solid presentation too and stands above other rivals at the same price point or higher, and now at 50% off, it's a bargain. Jordan reviewed this one, and if you want to see what he had to say about it, you can check out his review by clicking up at the card on the top right hand side of your screen. The Raven is a point-and-click adventure in the style of a whodunit. It reminds me of Broken Sword, a game that I absolutely loved back in the day. It's a really good story and the game's mechanics work really nicely. The puzzles themselves aren't the most challenging compared to some other games, but it's an enjoyable, casual experience. And that's our bargains for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video, but I do want to stress before you go that there are lots of additional games on sale. We put them up last week and the week before, and some of them went on sale for a couple of weeks, so you can still pick those up at a great price. So I do urge you to check those videos out. If you enjoyed this video and want to get this delivered to you every Sunday, then please do consider subscribing. We're also giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite and Zelda Link's Awakening when we get to 50,000 subscribers to one lucky subscriber. I'm James Romero, and this is SwitchWatch. Take care, and I'll see you soon.